Hi, I'm Rob.
And I'm Rob.
And this is Ask Rob and Rob.
Yes, welcome to Ask Rob and Rob, the show where every single Tuesday you ask us a couple of questions and we give you a couple of answers. We've got a couple of really good questions on the same theme today, so we'll listen to those in just a sec after a quick recap of how to get your own question into us.
Yes, two lovely hubbers have absolutely nailed this process to get your question answered. It's really simple. You've got two options. First of all, you can call in and leave us an answer phone message. The number to call is 013 808 000 35. That's 013 808 000 35. Or get along to propertyhub.net/ask. That's propertyhub.net/ask. And you can leave your message that way. Get ready to get your question in. But before you do, let's listen to the first question of the week, which comes in from Claire.
Hi, Rob and Rob. I'm new to all of this, but I've been catching up on your podcasts, which are great. I'm selling my shares in my business for personal reasons, and so I'm going to have a lump sum of cash. I'm also selling my house. Now, I'm considering going into rental for myself and using the equity in my house along with the money from my shares from the business to start buying a property portfolio. Would you say this is the best way to do it, or would you say be secure, get another mortgage, buy a house to live in, and then use what's left to go into the portfolio? I look forward to hearing from you. That'd be great. Thank you. It's Claire. Bye.
Great question, Claire. But it seems you're not alone, because Azar has a similar question.
Hello, good morning, Rob and Rob. My name is Azar, and I'm calling from Birmingham. I want to start off by saying thank you very much for the guidance and the information you guys pass in your show. I've been sort of listening to the show now for about 6 months, and it's an abundance and wealth of knowledge that I just simply couldn't get access to, even though I was very keen on it from a very sort of young age. So thank you very much for sharing all this information, again, on a free platform. It is greatly appreciated. My question is a little bit based on sort of my life situation right now. So I'm a father. I've got two beautiful young girls, and my sort of ambition right now is to look at an investment that would make them financially secure when they get older. In terms of my current situation, I've got a property that I live in that I've got a mortgage on, but I'm looking to start fresh and get a buy-to-let property. So I don't have any buy-to-let at the moment. The only situation that I'm in at the moment is we are saving, and we're able to save quite a bit, but we're also expanding as a family. So right now we're in a 3-bed mid-terrace, and I mean the space is okay, it is alright, but the dilemma that I'm in is, do I look at saving for a house that would be our forever home? And by doing so, I would then end up moving into the home, my expenses would be more, so that would mean that I would inevitably have less money to save. Or do I look at saving and the forever home, putting that on the back burner and waiting? I would greatly appreciate any of your guidance on this.
Okay, so a pair of questions here, both along the same kind of lines and both really tricky questions to answer, because I think we might start straying into life advice here, which is a bit outside our remit, because I think it's important to consider the broader context here and the fact that life, believe it or not, is not just about investing. So Claire in particular seems to be asking the question based on what is the best thing to do in terms of purely investment. But I'm sure in reality, there's a lot going on in the background as well. And when it comes to where you're going to live, you're unlikely to just sit down with a spreadsheet, work out what ultimately is the best thing to do, what gets you the biggest number at the end, then do that thing. Because there's lots of emotion wrapped up in it. And there are lots of other factors that aren't financial. And there's nothing wrong with that at all. That's not a bad thing. So we can talk a bit about what's likely to be best from an investment point of view. But I think it's worth bearing in mind that when it comes down to it, your investments are your investments and your home is your home. And sometimes those things are in perfect harmony and lead you to the same answer, but sometimes they're not. And one of them has got to override the other. So with that out the way, Rob, how would you approach this situation if you were Claire or Azar?
I think you need to get very clear on what's most important to you. I think that's the ultimate. Saying whether you should rent or stay in the home you've got or buy your own place is very difficult to say, and there is no standard answer because we are all very different. If you are happy, and I think happiness is key here, if you are happy to rent or happy to live in the home you are, then by all means do those things and use your money to invest. But if you need to have a bigger home because the space isn't there and it's putting pressure on your family situation, then yeah, go and buy that bigger home and hold off investing. Now, I appreciate there's not a lot you can do with that advice, but I think it is actually some good advice in there that happiness is important, but also understanding that a bigger home doesn't necessarily equate to happiness, or owning your home for that matter. Now, if we were robots, which I'm pretty sure we're not, then the logical answer here would be to invest, because renting is cheaper than owning, and keeping your own home will give you a bigger pot to invest with. That, absolutely, from an investment point of view, is the right thing to do. So if you want the pure investment answer, it is to rent and put the bigger pot in. And for Azar, it is to stay in your current home and put your money to better use. So that is the investment answer, but only you can tell us about your lifestyle, your happiness, and what's important to you. Because you may have a great investment pot, but if you're miserable, then it's not going to work. But if you are perfectly happy where you are, then put your money to work.
Yeah, completely agree. And even from an investment point of view, actually, you can get to different answers for the same thing, depending on which matters most to you. So if you're most interested in capital growth, for example, then your own home can work really well because you can get more leverage on that if you want to. You can normally get up to 90% or so rather than 75%. And whatever gains you get are free of capital gains tax. Now, I personally don't think you should see your home as an investment. And I think it's a bit risky having one big asset that you pin your future on, but it is a way of looking at it. On the other hand, if income month to month is what matters to you more, then that's not going to do you a lot of good because, okay, you're not paying out rent, but you are paying out mortgage and all the other associated costs that go along with owning your home, and you don't have any actual income coming in. So again, knowing what matters to you personally can lead you to different answers. One thing that you should bear in mind in any case is that if you do own your own home, then there will be more mortgage options open to you. Not all lenders will require that you are a homeowner, but a fair number will do. So that's just another factor to bear in mind. If you want to have the most mortgage options open to you, then being a homeowner really helps.
So no definitive answer for either of you, sorry, but hopefully lots of advice and some frameworks you can work with that will help you make better decisions. And talking of better decisions, make sure you make the decision to listen to the podcast on Thursday. And of course, come back next Tuesday for Ask Rob and Rob. And if you haven't subscribed yet, you nutter, make sure you do, because that means you're making another better decision. So we'll be back with the Property Podcast on Thursday. Until then, take care, have fun, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.